Looks like YouTube is good. All right, so I got some new stuff. And it'll take a little minute before everything gets adjusted, but I think overall it was good. I'm cutting off my head, but I won't be standing up today, so I've also got more coming, so yeah, this is going to be work in progress. That'll work. Okay. Hi. Hi, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, New Year's, all the things. All of the things. So there's still kitties. Can you guys see the kitties? Yeah, morning time. YouTube can see the little cat thing maybe. Anyway, we still have kittens and I think they're coming around. Hopefully they can find homes. If you know anybody that doesn't have enough cats yet. I got a couple. So if you practice with me for a while, you know that the end of the year is like a special little treat, right? Sorry. All the stuff you see in magazines and on the television, if you're still hooked into all that, is about, what happened this past year, right? Reflecting on what happened in 2025. And that's all well and good, right? But a lot of times when we do that in our own lives, specifically our yoga practices, is that we get really judgy, right? I'm not good enough at this, or I didn't practice enough for that, or I did this, or whatever, right? It's always like, oh, I have to get better. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that, right? Wanting to improve is a good thing, but it's the about where you're at, right? And this is where it is, right? So it is what it is. And if you're unhappy about that all the time, then that's just, it doesn't feel good. So we're going to try today, especially, and then hopefully going forward, if it's not already happening for you, to know where we are and be cool with it, right? And again, it doesn't mean you can't get better, right? It doesn't mean that you can't have that want, right? Or I'm not sure what the word I need is, but I'll think of it, right? So there's nothing wrong with improving, right? But being cool with where you are makes stuff just better, right? So we're going to try and do that. And to help, and this may not be a thing for you, right? But sometimes if you close your eyes, you can't get distracted with all the other stuff so much, right? Whether it's a little hairball that's on the mat, or just something that will distract you visually. We're going to be pretty much on the floor the whole time, so you can keep your eyes closed if, again, that's a thing for you. If it's not and you want to have your eyes open, not a big deal, but just to be able to really stay focused today on where we are right now. So let's set ourselves up here. Heels aligned to the groin as much as you can. If you have props, right, certainly feel free to use them. If you have a wall, I'm going to suggest bending up and legs up the wall. So if you have a wall available to you, certainly feel free to use that, but blocks and whatever else to make your life easier. So sitting well here, lifting the pelvic floor, pulling the lower belly in and up, and we're tall through the sides. Relaxing in through the shoulders, try and relax in through your hips here. Ears over shoulders, closing your eyes, and just taking a moment to really bring it in. Becoming aware of how your body feels. Becoming aware of what your breath is doing. Breathing all through the nose. Let's bring that to a yoga breath now, right? So a little deeper, maybe a little slower, smooth as you can make it. Keeping your mind in this space. Let's go ahead and begin to add movement in here. So extending the arms out, inhaling them up, and exhaling them down. We'll do it again. One more time like that. Coming back up to the top. And then exhaling the right hand down. Giving yourself a nice stretch up the left side of the body. Take a big breath. And then inhale, make your way back up to center. And then take it over to the right. Sorry, left. Coming back up to the middle. And over to the right again. Find a little bit deeper stretch maybe this time. Big breath. And back to center. Last time to the left. Inhaling middle. And exhale the arms. So let's bring the hands to the knees here. With an inhale, draw your shoulder blades together on your back and let your chest lift up toward the ceiling. Exhaling, round that. Press the middle of your spine to the wall behind you, forehead to your belly button-ish. And then flow like that in and out with your breath. Take another flow. And then just find the middle again. Sitting nice and tall, let's take a twist, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the body somewhere, and just an easy, gentle little twist here. And just notice what's going on in your body. Where do you feel this? How does the spine feel? Is the pelvis even on the floor? Just take an assessment without judgment. Releasing that side to the center. Take the middle, and then the other side. Same idea here. Just setting yourself up, letting it be what it is, but noticing what is. Come on back to the middle again and take that first side. Let's go a little bit deeper with it. giving the body a chance to stretch out a bit. But then the same idea with that really reflective eye. Is it any different? And if so, how? And let's release that, coming back to center, taking that second side again. Same idea, just moving a little bit deeper into the stretch. Being uber aware of what's going on, where. Does it change anything if you have your eyes closed? Let's release that, coming back to the middle again. And bringing the soles of the feet together again. Heels in toward the groin as much as they'll go. Right. Relax in through the inner hip here. Pulling against the ankles can help you sit up a little taller if that feels right. And then elbows to the inner hip. You can gently press down at the elbows, maybe hinge forward from the hip here to increase the stretch. But just find where it is. Notice how your spine is, whether you like to kind of round over, or whether that's your temptation anyway. Nice big breaths. With the next inhale, go ahead and hinge back up. And we're going to extend the legs out long. Taking a moment to make sure you still feel upright on the pelvis. Legs are straight, feet are flexed. Sit extra tall. You can reach the arms up or not, either way. And then hinge the upper body forward. When it doesn't hinge forward anymore, just let your hands be where they are. Remember not to try and reach. It's not about that. Find where you are. Notice what feels good. Notice what changes after a breath or two. And then gently with the next inhale, we're going to bring it back up again. And let's open the feet. It's early, so don't worry about wide. Find where the stretch is. Make sure your seat is still comfortable. The spine is still tall. Reaching the arms up again or not. So we're going to rotate the upper body over toward the left leg and then fold over that left leg. Let your hands fall to either side. And then just let that fold develop. What do you notice here? What changes? Let's go ahead and hinge it back up again, inhaling. Rotating to the right, and then folding over this right leg. Take your time with it. Eyes closed or open. Noticing the difference maybe from left to right or right to left. And then on an inhale, make your way back up to the middle again. And we'll take the left hand, pin it underneath the right thigh here. Reaching the right arm up, we're going to hinge over to the left. Bringing the left elbow to the inside of the thigh here. Stretching nice all the way up that right side. Maybe looking at the ceiling, maybe just turning your face because your eyes are closed. Where do you feel this one? One more nice big breath on this side. With the inhale, make your way back up to the top. And then we'll switch. Right hand underneath the left. Reaching up and hinging over. Adding the elbow, opening up the shoulder, wherever it is for you. And then again, just be here and notice what's going on in your body. And then another big breath over here. Inhaling to bring yourself back up to center. And bringing the hands to the middle. Sitting tall. And then hinging forward right in the center. Let your hands be wherever is most comfortable. This might be someplace that you want to use a block. And just sitting with these sensations. One more breath. With the inhale, making your way back up to the middle again. And then bringing the legs back down front. So wiggle them out a little bit if that feels good here. And then gently make your way around onto hands and knees. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, make a nice wide foundation, spreading the weight as evenly as you can through the hands, knees under hips. Just a little bit of cat-cow again here. So inhale the belly toward the floor. Exhale, round your spine toward the ceiling. Take a few flows like that. One more flow. Then finding center. So from this hands and knees position, making sure the belly's engaged, supporting your lower back. Extend the right leg straight back. And then press through that heel, make it work. Left arm forward. And can you have your eyes closed here still? And what happens? Feeling the muscles that are working. Noticing your breath. Releasing down. And then switching sides here. Go ahead and extend the left leg. Take your time with it, especially if your eyes are closed. Otherwise, it can get really wobbly. And then release it back down again. So move back to the first side. Excuse me. Extending the right leg and the left arm. Again, eyes closed or maybe not. Take the arm over to the left, leg around to the right, and hold. Breathing. Bring it back to center. And release it back down. Same idea on the second side, extending the left leg and the right arm. Taking it out to the sides when you're ready. Coming back to the middle. And back down again. So let's go ahead and extend that right leg back one more time. This time bend at the knee. Take the left hand and see about reaching around and finding your foot there. So definitely a little balance trick, especially if you have your eyes closed. You can add kicking the foot into the hands, pointing the right knee more at the floor, all the fancy stuff if you like. But just find where it is that your body needs to be right now. Gently release what you got. Stretch out long. Come on back down and we will switch sides. So left leg, bent. Right hand finds the foot. Listening to your body. Let's gently release and come back down to all fours. Go ahead and sit back, make your way to a child's pose. If you like, maybe taking the hands back by the heels, letting your shoulders rest forward, using your block, right, or a blanket maybe to set your forehead down. Just really being in tune with where your body is, what it needs. We're going to stretch the arms out long if they're not already. And this is as up as we get today. Make your way to down dog. Just wiggling and stretching as always. Settling in. From here, stepping the right foot forward, we're going to come to a lunge. Dropping the back knee or not, depending on where you want to be. And then drawing the hips toward the legs, really toward each other, so the hips will square up, feel it. Taking the right leg straight. And then bending into the knee. Sinking low. Keeping the hips square, the spine long. Notice the breath. Leaving the back knee down if you choose, or lifting it away from the floor. Taking the right leg straight again. Go ahead and bend back into the knee. If you did leave your knee on the floor, you'll need to lift it. We're going to walk the hands around and come back into a little straddle here. And then continue around, walking your hands to the left foot, lunging toward the back of your mat here, and starting with the right knee on the floor or not. Again, that action of sweeping the legs toward each other for square hips, taking the left leg straight. And then bent. Sink nice and low into the hips. And again, here, your option of leaving the knee on the floor or not as we take that left leg straight again. And then we'll bend back into the knee. Walk the hands back around into the center of the straddle fold. Letting the upper body hang here. If you need your hands on the floor, certainly leave them. Otherwise, see about taking the hands to the lower back and interlacing the fingers back there. Drawing the shoulder blades together, stretch the knuckles away.
Just noticing how the fold develops, how your shoulders change. And then releasing what you got here. We're going to walk the hands back around to the right foot and step back to our down dog. Dropping them down to the knees and into child's pose again. From this child's pose, slide forward out onto the belly. So we're going to start off in a Sphinx here. So popping up onto the forearms. Elbows tucked in. Forearms parallel to each other. Keeping the toes on the floor, the lower back, the tailbone pointing down toward the floor so the lower back stays long. Press away to lift the chest. You can add pulling your belly button through the elbows to deepen the sensation, keeping the neck in line. Getting that nice curve of the spine here. Gently releasing back down. Working into cobra, hands next to the side ribs, hugging the elbows in. And then seeing if we can find that same sensation through the spine that we were just in Sphinx. So pulling against the floor, like you're going to bring your belly button between your hands this time. Keeping the elbows in, a little bit more work. And just noticing whether the sensation is similar here or really not. Yeah. And it's okay if it's not. Gently releasing that back down to the floor. Taking the hands back down by your sides. So using locust to look for the same sensation. And maybe it's really similar, and maybe it isn't. Toenails down the floor, tailbone tucks toward the floor. We curve through the spine, finding that nice even arch. And yes, it's more work. But is it similar? And let's release it. Go ahead and turn the toes toward each other. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands. And then just kind of rock back and forth on your hips. We're gonna take the hands next to the side ribs again, hugging the elbows in. Gently make your way up into a kneeling plank. And then go ahead and set yourself back into a child's pose again, all the way back. So maybe in this child's pose, open your knees. You can open your feet and see if your hips can sink a little deeper maybe. Shifting the hips forward again, you want to leave the knees wide, maybe wider even than they already are. But bring your toes together. And now your toes are glued to each other and they are glued to the floor as you inch the upper body forward and see if we can bring the hips back down. Finding the sensation, making adjustments if you feel like you need to. Propping, you could stuff a block underneath your pelvis or a blanket maybe. Gently make your way back up. Knees back together. And one more time into your child's pose. And we'll come to sit up on the heels. So you can stay up on the heels here. You can sit on a block. You can open up your knees and sit between your heels, wherever, right? Taking the right arm behind the head here, reaching for between your shoulder blades-ish, yeah? And then the left hand up and under. And maybe those two hands can meet, and maybe they cannot. Sitting nice and tall. Feeling the sensation in the shoulders. Gently releasing what you got on that side, maybe rolling them around a little bit. And then switching. So the left hand between, right hand behind. And maybe the hands are in a similar place here, and maybe they are not. Just noticing. Sitting with it. Gently release what you got there. Roll those shoulders around. And we're going to come back to the bottom. So here, feet flat on the floor. 90-degree bend-ish in the knees. Hands are going to go behind the back, maybe, I don't know, a handprint or so. Fingers pointing toward the body. Unless that's too tough on your shoulders, they can rotate out to the sides a little bit. Pulling the shoulder blades together on the back, lift the chest. And imagine here pulling your heels towards your hips to lift your hips up off the floor. Tailbone tucked toward the knees, even if they're an inch up off the floor. Gently release the hips. And instead of having your fingers turned toward your body, turn them away. So rotating the thumbs out. Ideally, we want to keep the hand shoulder width apart back there, but just paying attention to what you got going on.
Walking the hands back. Might be easier to inch the hips forward, but see what happens. Feeling the stretch. Inching the hand back in. And then rolling those shoulders around a little bit. So feet flat to the floor. We're going to hang on to our shins here. Keeping the chest lifted for now. Balance back, lifting your toes away from the floor. And then from this position, see curve your spine and see if you can roll evenly all the way to your shoulders. And then pop back up, right? And sometimes you've got a lot of momentum going on, right? But we're gonna see if we can make that controlled. So from this nice tall spine, rolling down and rolling back up to the tall spine. So just play with it, have some fun. And if it's not perfect, laugh, right? Because who cares? But just noticing where does it all start to go wrong? So if you have a plow practice and you're getting there, you can go ahead and take it there. And if you don't know what I mean by plow, don't worry about it. Do that just a couple more times, have some fun. And then the next time you're back, just stay there. Having the knees into the chest, just rocking a little bit side to side this time. And then taking the feet to the floor. We're going to cross the left ankle over the left ankle over the right knee, reaching back behind the right thigh, and releasing the fingers, drawing the right leg into the body. Noticing if the body tries to shift, or maybe opens up a little bit after a breath or two. Keep the arms pulling toward the body, but then kick the leg back into the hands. So give it that push and pull a little bit. Noticing how that affects the position. And then gently releasing both feet flat to the floor. Let's switch sides. Right ankle over left knee. Pulling that left thigh toward the body. And again, you're just noticing where the pose starts. Keep pulling in, but start to press away.
And then release that. Put the feet flat to the floor. And then go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees fall to the sides. Taking just a couple breaths here. We'll draw the knees back to center. And then take the final twist. So opening the arms out into a T position. Whatever variation you choose to take today, we're going to just start with the legs over to the right. So whether you shift your hips, leave the knees bent, take the legs straight, cross the legs, any of those things. Whether you release into the twist or whether you work into it, just keep the mind focused and observant of what's happening. Not around you, inside the body. So whether it's your lower back, whether it's your outer hip, shoulders. Sitting with the sensations, whatever they bring. I'm going to take just a couple more breaths over on this side. And then we're going to switch it. So making your way back to center. And ideally moving into the same variation of the twist on the second side, but adjusting if you need to adjust once you get there. And just a couple more breaths over here. And then making your way back to the middle again. One more time, nice knees drawing into the chest, rocking a little bit. And then squeezing them in good and tight. Forehead to the knees-ish. And then stretching out nice and long. Releasing that stretch. And then finding Shavasana. So if you are near a wall, feel free to scoot your bottom over to that wall. And take the legs up, just like your mom told you not to do when you were a kid. Only it's really yummy, so do it. Wherever you choose to be, allowing the body to rest. And see if you can keep your mind in this place. So even though the body's not really doing anything anymore, see if you can still sit with the sensations. Noticing your breath without controlling it here.
Getting mind focused and quiet. Giving yourself just a few more minutes to rest completely. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. But when you're ready, take a nice deep breath. Let it go. Wiggling, moving, stretching. And slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Sitting well. Bringing the palms to touch. Bowing to the light within. Namaste. And all is right with the world again. Yeah. So that's the trick, honestly, is to get here and then see if you can last up there with it. That's the practice, right? So happy holidays, y'all. Enjoy the rest of the week, I guess-ish, that is going on. And we will see you next time, and I will fix this, I promise. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Di.